Welcome back to Cosmo's Reading Corner. We're going to be reading from a book today called Yoga Mind. It's a book by Suzan Colon, and it talks about going beyond the physical practice of yoga, opening up your mind to the spiritual reality that exists within the physical discipline and practice of yoga. It's a 30-day book, something that you practice over 30 days, and you take those disciplines to enhance your moment. What we're going to do right now is read from the introduction and kind of get an idea of what the book is about, and maybe get some secrets along the way. So here we begin. We know why we should practice physical yoga: to have a healthy, flexible body. But why do we need a flexible yoga mind? Why has yoga been a predominantly spiritual practice for thousands of years, and why is it so necessary for our lives right now? Yoga gives us the opportunity to live our lives more fully, deeply, authentically, and organically. Its spiritual tools teach us to recognize and get past obstacles that hold us back. They make broad concepts like mindfulness and meditation simpler, able to fit into our busy days and lives. They help us deal with long-standing issues that cause suffering and enhance the present moment. They help us make subtle shifts that lead to lasting change. And because, simply put, sometimes everything is not going to be okay, we practice yoga. Life challenges happens to everyone. There are a multitude of different types. There are illnesses, job loss, divorce, you name it. In these situations, it's not all good. And if some well-meaning person says everything happens for a reason, our reaction is less soothed and maybe even more upset, wondering what kind of world we live in if that could be true. At the time when I found integral yoga, I was not aware that I was reaching for an ideal of life where everything was perfect, when someday I'd have the perfect job, the perfect home, the perfect relationship, the perfect body, and on and on. Yoga and particularly integral yoga offered something far more realistic and attainable: balance. This ashram, an ashram is like a Hindu place of worship, full of vibrant people of all kinds, including those with injuries, illness, frailties that come with age, and a variety and varying abilities, even a teacher in a wheelchair and a vision-impaired student, were all examples of real life. Things happen, and we can work with them. Swami, my teacher, knew that yoga could help us achieve balance. You can't stop the waves, he said, but you can learn how to surf. After I heard that, I was finally able to release unattainable ideals of perfection and begin to truly live my life. Yoga's spiritual tools address the waves of life, from the smooth, happy times to those very not so okay times when we fall ill, when someone we love dies or leaves, when our lives turn inside out, our most vulnerable parts are exposed. Developing a yoga mind can help us find our own natural reserves of strength and resilience and make them stronger. It does the same for the best parts of ourselves, showing us how to cultivate the habits and traits we aspire to embody. The spiritual practice of yoga helps us to shine brightly by helping us see the divine light already within us. With a yoga body, you can do impressive poses. With a yoga mind, you can do anything. Powerful little section, right? Kind of giving you the idea that even with the philosophy itself, you can go deeper. And she gave examples of herself from this Integral Yoga Institute, how practicing that gave her balance, or the introductory of balance through life and all its challenges. Continuing on. I learned this over 25 years of practicing yoga and working with individual clients, classes of students, and groups of teacher trainees, executives in corporate boardrooms, educators in seminars, and hospital staffs, and by working with Francisco every week for over a year after his accident. Kind of a pretext, Francisco is a good friend of hers that broke his neck diving into a pool, and he lived from it. He's now in a wheelchair, as the book states, or currently where we are in the book, and she's learning how to work with that reality that's happened to him and how it has affected her, but still trying to be his friend and be his best friend at that. So, continuing on. The program in this book is an interpretation of the yoga tools used on my own spiritual path, Francisco's, and other students whom she's written about in this book. I've been fortunate enough to learn from monks living in yoga ashrams, we said was a Hindu place of worship, but I'm an average woman living in an everyday world. Therefore, my interpretation of these ancient concepts may be somewhat non-traditional. But I know that using these tools to develop a yoga mind works because they've gotten me through challenging situations and taught me how to live a happier life. There are many tools in yoga, but I've chosen the ones that I've found most adaptable to our daily lives and most helpful for achieving the goals of living authentically and fully, being more mindful, getting through the things that can fragment us with grace, finding a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives, and being happier. These 30 yoga tools are organized into sections based on how they complement one another. The order they're in is modeled after a gentle, gradual process of an integral yoga class, starting with learning how to breathe your way to a more relaxed, receptive state of being in which you can do interior spiritual work. She has here in quotes, "Don't worry, it's much easier than it sounds." Each day, a new yoga tool will be introduced. You'll learn how to apply it through a real-life experience, and then you'll find an exercise so you can try the tool out. These exercises are simple and won't take much time, but their effects are palpable. In integral yoga classes, there are brief periods of rest in the relaxed pose called savasana. Between each group of yoga tools and their exercises, you will find a savasana, a pause with a short overview of upcoming tools and the kind of work that you will be doing. She has 4 parts here. Part 1 is called grounding and centering, where we begin with simple practices that gives you the foundation of the Yoga Mind program. Part 2, mindful shifts, where the seeds of positive change are subtle but noticeable. I'm excited for that one. Part 3, finding your balance, where you attain equilibrium while seeing and feeling the effects of the work you're doing. Part 4, steadiness and easefulness. Steadiness and easefulness, where you add to your established practice with tools to take it out into the world. So part 4 is about steadiness and easefulness, where you add to your established practice with tools to take out into the world. The point of yoga is to be and feel your best, not just for an hour on the mat when you can get to class, but throughout your day, throughout your life. We just need a guide, some practical examples, and the occasional reminder. This book was designed to travel with you, to be there on your desk at work or in your bag. Think of it as your constant companion on your spiritual path. After you work the program in order, you can use the yoga tools again in a variety of ways. Choose tools at random each day. Pick a tool and make it your focus for a week. When you have a particular need, meditate on a mantra. You'll find a number of these affirmations throughout the program. The yoga tools are also listed by category in the appendix, so if you need a certain type of tool, you'll have a quick reference guide. For this kind of yoga, you don't need any fancy clothing, a mat, or a big chunk of time. You don't need to be physically fit or particularly flexible other than having an open mind. All you need are a simple notebook to keep track of your feelings and changes along the way, and a desire to create positive shift in your life. You don't have to wait for those shifts to hopefully happen someday. The yoga tools introduced in this book will show you how to create those tools. When I found yoga, the asana practice felt like a physical form of prayer. My only problem was how to take the physical beyond the mat. I found the answer by using the yoga tools to help me develop a yoga mind. They taught me how to live life fully, see meaning and value in experiences value in experiences of all kinds, and find sweet richness in simple moments. They gave me strength and resilience. They can do this for you too. The desire to help something, the desire to help is something every being has within, to the point that it's more of an instinct than a choice. Initially, I didn't know how I could help Francisco, but it is in absolute darkness that stars shine most brightly. It is from tremendous pressure that diamonds are formed. And so, it was that in a very challenging time for him and for me, the true gift of yoga were revealed. It is a great gift to be able to share them with you. Namaste. The traditional yoga greeting means, I see the divine light in you. May this book help you see the divine light that burns so brightly within you. Now that was the introduction. The biggest thing I took from that is that this is going to be a tool and a practice that grows you daily. She talks about having a notebook so you can write down some of your feelings and thoughts and not try to think of it as some type of physical discipline that's going to be out of your range, but more so like a mental discipline that when you apply it, you will see the changes, or you might see the tools that it offers. Next time I'm going to be reading from the chapters and reading more about what I learned. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming to Cosmo's Reading Corner. I'll read with you soon. Later.